Action.
Hi folks, Rocky here, Rocky's Marine Services, and today I'm going to strip down and clean a first stage filter assembly. So here we have our first stage filter. We're going to take the cap off, take the filter off. We're going to take off 4 of these fasteners for this retaining ring and take the bowl off. And what we're left with is what you see here. Now, raw fuel from your fuel tanks goes in here, and the clean fuel goes out here to your engine. If you look in the top here, you will see a pipe running straight across. And you look at that and you think, well, that doesn't make sense because fuel goes in here, there's a straight pipe running right through and it comes out this way. But what happens is there's a 45 in here like so. So fuel comes in here, hits the 45 in that pipe, comes down into this assembly. And I call this the umbrella assembly. I don't know if that's the name, but it sounds good and everybody knows what we're talking about. So we unspin the umbrella assembly. We take that out. We come back to the unit. Now remember, raw fuel goes through here and comes out through here, down your umbrella assembly, hits the side of the bowl and starts the cleaning and separation process. Take the umbrella assembly, and inside there you'll see there's a check valve. We take that check valve out. Here's the aluminium, wherever in the world you live, what we call it. And here is the O-ring that sits against it. So raw fuel goes through here without any cleaning process, goes out here. So let's take the umbrella, turn it upside down and give it a little, oh. So as you can see, this may be algae, it may be rust, it may be like part of your fuel line or gaskets that you have in your fuel tank. We'd have to have a closer look at that, but at the moment let's just leave that there. So, and if you look inside this, you can see everything collects inside there. And if we go back to our check valve, the check valve sits on top, but as you accumulate more garbage, it pushes this valve further and further up, ends up seating on the top like so, and then when you should be getting 1200, 1400, 1800, 2000 RPM, you'll no longer be able to get to 2000 RPM because you're going to get fuel starvation. So what happens is we have to clean out that so that ball can come further down and allow fuel to get to the main engine. So it's really important at least once a year to take these apart, tap them out and get the garbage out of there. And you'll be amazed at what we find in there. We find rust, we find algae, we find earplugs from when the tanks were originally made from the welders. We find bands from lobstering. We find bees and wasps, and what happens in the summer, they live in the vents of the fuel tanks, and then when you start the engine it just sucks all that through, and you will sometimes find bees and wasps in there. It's quite interesting what you'll find in there. So it's really important to keep this clean because it will starve your engine of fuel and bring down your RPMs. When you put it back together, put the ball in, you'll find this has a rib on it. Make sure the rib is facing up, because if you don't, we've seen this, where the ball has stuck like so, like satin, and you get no fuel at all and you got complete breakdown. So make sure the rib is facing up. So put that in, put that in like so, put that in like so. Okay. When you put your gasket, it's always good to put a little bit of grease on here when you seat it. Rub your finger around here and make sure it's seated with no twists. And then screw this back in. Put that like so. Take your fasteners. These are steel, this is aluminum. Put a little bit of grease on there. You'll thank yourself for it when it comes to servicing it again. And put your 4 fasteners on there. Now, some of you may say, I don't really want to do this every year or twice a year. So what's the solution? The solution is to put a rocky tank to protect your first stage filter. And what happens with your rocky tank, if I can show you here, all the raw fuel from your main engine comes in here. Water, algae, rust, any sort of heavy contaminants, it settles at the bottom of the tank, and at the bottom we have a 3/4 inch discharge valve. So you take the plug off, crack that open, and all this garbage here will come out of the bottom of the rocky tank. It will also take water, algae, rust, heavy contaminants. You can literally put a bag of sand inside your fuel tanks. I wouldn't recommend it, but every grain will come out here and not a single grain will go to this filter. So with that being said, keep your umbrellas nice and clean every year, or buy yourself a rocky tank. That will sit like so. Protect your first stage filter, and you'll be trouble free. So stay safe out there. Give me a call, 902 523 2047. Say again, it's on the shirt, 902 523 2047. We ship around the world. We're located in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. And if you're in the area, I'll drop by and I'll install one for you as well. Stay safe out there. Give us a call. Cheers.